you would please stand for the invocation and the pledge.
If y'all bow your head, please. Our Heavenly Father, thank you again for this day, and thank you for what you do for us each and every day, Father. Father, we just ask to be with us as we conduct the county business, and may we do it in a Christ-like manner as well. Father, I also pray for our first responders across the state of Kentucky and our local communities, that you watch over them and protect them and keep them out of harm's way. And Father, I just pray that you be with each one of the court members, and may you lead, guide, direct us on our decisions, what we make today. Father, again, out of your mercy and your grace, please forgive us where we failed in so many ways. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have some bids. All right, the first one we're gonna do is for the chipper. All right, for the BC 1800A wood chipper, $8,000, or I'm sorry, $8,001 by BJ Harper. I will also tell you all, the city of Eddyville had called and inquired about purchasing the chipper, straight from the county, and their offer was $10,000 to purchase it.
10,000?
10,000. However, because it's 10,000, not 9,999 cents, Mayor Green has to go to the council at the next council meeting, which is the first Monday of the month in November, to get final approval to purchase the chipper at 10,000.
So what you've done is you've solicited bids for the chipper. So you can do one or two things. One, you could accept the bid of BJ Harper because he has submitted a bid for $8,001 and then sell the chipper to him. Two, you could deny that and you could say, no, we're not gonna award it to BJ Harper, we're not gonna award it whatsoever. And then you can transfer property to another governmental entity with or without compensation. So if you decide that you do want to sell it to the city of Eddyville, you deny the bids that were sent in, don't award based upon that, transfer to another governmental entity for the stated consideration of $10,000.
The city's the one that uses it the majority of the time anyways.
Are they going to for sure buy it though?
He has to get final approval
That's
from
what I'm
the
saying.
city council.
They go through this committee,
Yep.
so they
We
say
can-
no.
If you reject the bid, you gotta rebid it. And see if Mr. Harper wants to rebid at that point.
The $2,000 more. I think we're rejecting them and put them up for rebid again.
Well, we're gonna have to rebid it if the city's.
Yeah, you can sell either with or without, or transfer with or without compensation to another governmental entity.
So in that back again, what you told him.
So you've put this piece of property, you declared it as surplus, and you have put it out for bid. You've received a bid for $8,001. You can accept that bid today, and then you can sell the chipper for $8,001 to BJ Harper. Or you can say, we're not gonna award based upon the bids that we received, in which case, no bid that that was received has been accepted. At any point in time, whether you bid it or didn't bid it, you can transfer a property to another governmental entity like the city of Eddyville without bidding the property for or not for compensation. So, today, if you accept BJ Harper, then you're gonna sell to him for $8,001. If you don't accept BJ Harper, then you still got the chipper, and you got an offer, even though it hadn't been approved by the city council yet, to purchase it for $10,000 from another governmental entity.
So we can reject that bid.
It's pretty much take it or leave it at $8,001 for today. If you take it, you're done.
Yep.
If you leave it, then BJ Harper's bid was not awarded. You've still got the chipper, and you wait and see what Eddyville does if they come through with the official $10,000, and if they do, sell it to them.
I'll make a motion, we'll reject BJ Parker's bid.
I have a motion by Bobby, do we have a second? Second by Jeff to reject BJ Harper's bid of $8,001. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. Field lighting.
What is this one?
This is for the Field One, which is also known as the Lady Line softball field.
This is the lights.
Yeah, LED. This is from Story Electrical Service. So the total of this base bid proposal is $59,700.
The other bid we got.
No, there's one more.
59 what, sir?
$59,700. This would include the, it's the Memphis Copper Brand Lighting Package, 20 LED light fixture heads mounted on new cross arms, replace key switch master control with new key switch located at building, modify existing lighting breakers if needed for new lighting capacity. Factory startup is included, 10-year factory parts and warranty is included, 5-year labor warranty on parts replacement is included. Installation for the cage SAA approved standards and demolition of existing field one lighting and cross arms. And then electrical inspection fees included by state approved inspector of authority having jurisdiction. So that's the total of the base bid proposal. And the other one is energy harness. Project total cost $49,311.92.
49,311.92.
Yes.
So what's the difference of 10,000?
So theirs has, project total includes the product pricing table, which they've included. There is 8 400-watt sports lights, gray housing, trim and mount surge protection, remote driver box, and then 10 800-watt sports light, gray housing, trim and mount surge protection, remote driver box. So the total materials was $41,161.92, installation of $8,150 for a project total of $49,311.92, and they had an estimated contingent expense of $14,421.80. Which includes the lift, the Cerium 2-pole 50-amp contactor if it has to be, and the installation of it, and then new wireless controls. And then again, that total, all three of those total $14,421.80. Those expenses will be invoiced separately at the time of completion completion if needed. See if there's
Storage,
any
is storage and all, everything included in that price?
So they have an option, an alternative for logic control panel, which is $15,000. That is the logic control panel mounted on existing building next to key controls or location of owner desire. And then not included is any new poles or arms, any performance bonding, and any new power circuitry to each pole. That's not included in that scope from storage. So on the 49,000 on energy harness, it has the products outlined, the product installation, the shipping, recycle old fixture, removal, photometrics to confirm foot candles meet the KHSAA requirements. One-to-one replacement of existing product with LED sports lights meets the KHSAA requirements, use of existing poles. Use of existing lighting controls, new lighting controls listed as a contingency expense if you would like wireless controls. Contactors to be replaced only as needed. Excuse me. Please note this will be invoiced separately again if it's a contingent cost, and then the county would provide a lift if available. There is a 5-year limited parts and labor.
So then, looking at them two bids, what's the difference from storage to energy? Because you're looking $10,400 difference.
Somebody here from storage. Are you replacing the poles and the arms?
No, man, just the arms.
Just the arms? Energy just says use of existing poles and use of existing lighting controls, which I would believe would be the key, because they say a contingency expense if you wanted wireless. So I think they're using the same, I guess, crossbars, and you're replacing the crossbars. And they're gonna replace the key switch, story is. And energy is using the existing lighting control.
Both of them bidding on the same amount of lights.
They had 20 and energy harness had 18. You got a chance, don't know where those other two, maybe how you came up with the 20, if they only had 18, I'm just out of, you
One light shines on the basketball courts, and the other light, I think, is just part of the softball field. So we got 6 on one pole, 4 on another, and then 1 for the basketball court.
Yeah, I think it's up there.
Does any of them lights shine back on the baseball field when they pole?
Yes, the tallest one's top row shines back the other direction.
Are those included or no?
No, it's just the
It's
softball.
just the ones that face the softball and the one that faces the basketball court, and then there's gotta be one other one.
Well, I think
Yes, for
there's-
that area.
Yeah, I think there's 6 on the one, the right side looking from the back, and then there's 5 on the other side, and then the 2, the one for the basketball court.
What's that outfit?
Let's see, Story is out of Paducah. Energy Harness is out of Zionsville, Indiana. Story that include the lift?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm, yeah. Looking.
So
Would that include any, if you have to have the 50 amp contactors, or do you know?
No, the contactors would not be included in any replacements.
So energy was 49.3 on 11.92, plus if they gotta do that, would you call it contingency?
The contingency, they'll have to have a lift, his includes a lift, so add another 4,700 to that. Yeah,
Sometimes they get charging all the extras will be right there.
yeah.
And they're low.
If you add all the contingencies, you're at 63,733.
Is this the only field we're looking at?
Softball,
Yeah.
girls.
Well, I just
The whole park's well over $600,000.
Hey, what's this year's money?
Yep, y'all got money through somewhere I don't know about?
You know, Bobby, don't put you up another sign, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
There's money, what are you talking about?
For the, I'm trying for the rest of it, yeah.
So we're gonna be out this is far.
So the school has already agreed up to 20,000. Okay, they're gonna pay 30, so up to 20. And then tourism as well.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
you're only looking at about 20 from each entity.
Do we have?
No, no. No tornadoes.
So if we accept stores, what's the timeline?
Did you include a timeline? Did I, like, from installation, how long it takes, et cetera?
The installation, once we get the materials, should be around 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, and how long will it take you to get the light fixtures and,
The lead time on some of those has been running around 16 to 18 weeks.
that's what I thought.
It could be less, but that was the initial I got.
So we're gonna be looking at our first.
You're looking after the first year anyways. If it's approved, I mean, I really want them to potentially be installed around March for the start of the season.
That's doable, right?
Yeah, that's good.
I'll make a motion to accept stores.
I included some literature in there, cut sheets, submittals on those lights. Yeah, there's another package that's got the slides submitted to.
And this one.
2 copies, yeah, there's 2 copies.
Okay. Have you done any other Kentucky high school ball fields?
Yes, ma'am.
What other fields have you all done?
We did St. Mary High School, we did Hickman County High School. We've done some at, Reland High School, when they were there.
Okay.
Well, I'll second Jeff's motion.
We have a motion by Jeff to accept Story Electrical Service for Field 1 softball lighting for $59,700. And a second by Bobby. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, aye? Opposed, no. Motion passed.
is Spencer Blaney. I'm with RWE representing the Pleasant Valley Solar Project. This is phase 2 of the Ashwood Solar, currently going under construction along 641. Over the past couple of weeks, I've sat down with each of you to discuss the current solar ordinance in Lyon County. Just wanted to thank you for taking time to meet with me, discussing your concerns and the concerns that you've heard from others, particularly as it relates to the 2,000-foot setback requirement. Just want to reiterate that we are committed to continuing being a responsible neighbor, a supporting member of the community here, and we'll look to alleviate any of the concerns and answer any questions of community members as they relate to the Pleasant Valley project. With that being said, I feel it's important to reiterate our stance that the 2,000-foot setback is prohibitive to solar development. This is not just in relation to the Pleasant Valley project, but to any solar project by any developer or landowner. We believe this is great of a setback that goes beyond reasonable protection for the surrounding neighbors and becomes an infringement on the property rights for the landowners that do want to participate in the project. From our assessment of the county, the average size in an agriculturally zoned piece of land is about 77 acres. There's not a single configuration of 77-acre parcel of land that would allow for even one solar panel with a 2,000-foot setback. If you have a landowner who only has a single average-sized parcel of land and wanted to participate in a solar project, they would be completely dependent on their immediate neighbors to also participate in the project in order to have enough contiguous land to overcome that 2,000-foot setback. I'm unaware of any other use in the county where people have that much say over what their neighbors may or may not do on their own land. I also feel it's important to make a note on where the 2,000-foot setback originated, because Lyon County is not the only county who has adopted a 2,000-foot setback. We've often heard counties say that the 2,000-foot setback comes from the state siting requirement. This is not correct, or perhaps it's better to say it's an incorrect application of what is in the state statute. While it is true that the state siting requirements do have a 2,000-foot setback for solar projects, it is not a blanket 2,000-foot setback from property lines and roadways as currently exists here in Lyon. What the state statute says is that solar projects must be set back, and this is in quote, 2,000 feet from any residential neighborhood, school, hospital, or nursing home facility. On the surface, that may sound similar to what you have in your ordinance, but when actually applied to a project, the effects are drastically different. As legislators, I'm sure you can appreciate how the nuances of legal language influence the application of laws and regulations. A key distinction to make with the state's 2,000-foot setback requirement is the setback from residential neighborhoods. In the state statute, a residential neighborhood is a defined term, and the state defines a residential neighborhood as a populated area of 5 or more acres containing at least one residential structure per acre. We think that is a fair regulation. We're not asking the county for a reduction of 2,000 feet from residential neighborhoods. What we are asking is that the county recognizes that there is in fact a distinction between residential neighborhoods and property lines and roadways. And what we would also ask is that the county recognize that those distinctions necessitate different setback requirements rather than a blanket 2,000-foot setback from anything and everything. We believe that reasonable and responsible setbacks can be mandated that are fair to both participating and non-participating landowners. Although I am here primarily to talk about the solar ordinance broadly, I do want to make it clear that the Pleasant Valley project, as currently designed and sited, is situated over 2,000 feet from any school, hospital, nursing home facility, and residential neighborhood as that is defined in the state statute. Lastly, in terms of setbacks that we would like the county to take into consideration, I point to the Kentucky Model Solar Zoning Ordinance as a reference point. This is a model ordinance meant to be a resource for Kentucky counties to adopt outright or with modification as they see fit. RWE has reached out to the Kentucky Office of Energy Policy about what resources they would recommend to local counties when developing their solar regulations, and the Model Solar Zoning Ordinance is what the Office of Energy Policy directed us to. The Kentucky Model Solar Ordinance makes recommendations of 50-foot setbacks of panels from residential and agricultural land and 100-foot setbacks from residences, the actual homes on the property. These setbacks are in line with what RWE has seen broadly as an industry standard for solar developments. So it's worth noting just how large of a setback difference there is between industry standard and what the Kentucky Office of Energy's policy has recommended to us compared to the 2,000-foot that exists here today. That is a 40 times setback difference. Please keep that in mind throughout any future discussions we hope to be able to continue with the county. Any setbacks that we would like the county to consider only seem extreme when compared to a 2,000-foot setback. But there is a flip side to that coin for our participating landowners whose land rights are just as valid, if not more valid, because it is on their land. The 2,000 feet is an extreme for them when their land doesn't even come close to being even allowed to have solar panels on it at all. Again, thank you for sitting down with me, discussing the ordinance over the past few weeks. We're committed to continuing conversations with the neighbors as we discussed in those meetings, and I hope that we can continue to keep an open dialogue with the county. We do have some of our participating landowners here and some landowners from the neighboring county who are dealing with a similar ordinance in Caldwell. I think they wanted to speak.
Thank you, Spencer.
My name is Mike Miller. I live out in 999. The thing is, people got these farmlands, and I get it. It's been in generations for years and years. But at the end of my life, my kids don't care nothing about the farm. Maybe just keep the farm on in the family. You know, and this 2,000-foot setback, there's no way that this is going to happen. And that's a fact. I don't understand how somebody half a mile away from me can tell me what I ain't doing my farm. That don't make sense. This government control is what it is. And that's a fact.
Mike?
Thank you for taking the opening. My name is Melissa Fitzgerald. I live in Caldwell County. However, the project that is going on within Pleasant Valley is encompassing possibly Caldwell and Lyon County as well. So what happens in Lyon can very well affect, like I said, residents there too. Basically, landowner rights is part of what comes into it. I know one of the reasons a lot of people are against solar is there's a lot of misinformation out there. We've approached Fiscal Court on multiple occasions in Caldwell, spoke with them. Caldwell has moved forward and now has a review board. They have appointed, our judge executive, Cody Young, has appointed different participants. Two of the participants on the review board are magistrates. And so what we're trying to do is to take an open look at what's going to be a good fit for everybody, because while the landowners that have chosen to go into the program, some landowners in our area have not, and that's their right to do so. At the same time, some of us have seen this as a positive move forward. So we fully, been invested in the research on this. Like I said, a lot of people that are against it, they're not aware of the factual information. Just touching on one subject, thinking of nuisances, okay? We had a meeting the other night, and we spoke on, we had 3 pages of questions, and these are the things that we're hearing that people say they don't, as a whole, don't want solar, okay? One may be noise nuisance. And so we asked them to possibly get together some information on these, and so it can be distributed to both yourself, others in the community, anybody that has a question on saying, because it's for the good of everybody, and you represent, just like Caldwell's Fiscal Court does, you represent everyone in the community, not just the landowners in the areas, everybody. But, for instance, just on a noise nuisance, I said, give us an idea of what kind of noise we're talking about. These inverters, my understanding is the inverters, which are what converts it from DC to AC for usage, they're located centrally in the middle of the solar panels. And I said, if you get 100 feet away from these, what is the noise level? And I believe the answer is 49 dBs. which most of the dishwashers in your home are louder than that. And that's just an example, but people are saying, you know, it's the noise, there's, you know, health issues, environmental issues. And so most of these that we have have verbally talked to them about, the myths have been dispelled, and that's, I think that's one thing that needs to go on too, is to see solar's not a bad thing. If it was gonna cause cancer, it's gonna cause health issues, I would not want it on my property. Our neighbors, we've had these discussions. But I'm hoping that y'all, can go and openly look at it, potentially appoint a review board to see where the common ground can be for the landowners that are participating, the adjoining landowners, and then the solar company themselves, that we can make projects like this work and everybody can move forward with it. The problem is, just like here, Caldwell initially went with the 2,000-foot setback, and it's a killer. Our ground that they were looking at is a 250-acre area. We have landowners, and the setback is being from the landowner where the land meets, not a residence, not a building, and there's no schools, nothing like that in our area either. When you take owners that will never see, it's hard to say that somebody that lives a half mile away from me can tell me, I don't want this. For instance, right now, there's no, if someone was to go out and put, like, say, a hog farm, chicken farm, whatever, there are no restrictions other than like with feedlots and things like that, where somebody could go put a chicken farm next to me, and it seems ridiculous that there are restrictions on something like solar, where there are not restrictions on something that would definitely be a noise nuisance, smell hazard, you know, whatever you want to call it, from another landowner. So we're hoping everybody can find common ground, and I would encourage you to, you know, to go forward and appoint a review board and try to move forward with this, because there's a lot of good that can come from it. And just simply because somebody says, I don't want a solar farm near me, it should not stop a project just because somebody says they don't like it. There needs to be reasonable issues why for a negative position, not just strictly because we don't want it. It needs to be good for the good of all of the communities, and not just your community, but like I said, all of the surrounding communities. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Melissa. Anyone else on visitor comments? I see none. You should have the minutes from the September 12th. It should be front and back for you all, and then a second page. I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as printed. Motion by Bobby, second by Jeff. All in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. All right, road department update. Those guys are extremely busy. I will also tell you all, if you will keep Sean Bays in your thoughts and prayers. His mother-in-law passed away this morning, Miss Carolyn. And so the road department's having to cover the dump, and then it's vacation and other things. So their report, they finished the Starlight drainage issue. Harper did that. That was the concrete, and it is now ready to be paved. They put the bollard post around the fuel pumps. That was something Bill Compton told us we had to have, so that that would prevent anyone crashing into our fuel tanks and pumps. They are working on the retaining wall for the convenience center. If you haven't been by there, I highly recommend you go by. They're doing a great job on that, and that should be completed by the middle of next week. And then they're gonna start back mowing next week, the last round. That's when they, it's a 10-foot cut, and they try to cut all that down. And they will also go back to boom mowing next week, in the first district. And then they have used the new co-mix, from PRI pavement, and so far it works great. They really liked it. So time will tell, but that's their, report from the road department. All right, you should have a copy of the Lyon County Conservation District's amended budget. If you recall, last time they had the county in for $70,000, we only budgeted $58,000, so they have corrected that, so you can clerk deem that budget as received. year is $225,106. It's up $14,000 from last year. We are not gonna spend all of that this year. We're only looking at about $190,000. So that will carry over into our fiscal year 26 amount. Cause flex is one and done, so you have to submit it all at once. You can't do it like in 2 or 3 increments. So you will see a copy of the, roads on your agreement. And then we also have a resolution that we have to do as well. So I will entertain the motion to accept the flex payment as printed. I will sign the contract. And we will do the resolution.
Make a motion,
Okay. I have a motion by Jeff, and a second by Bob.
Process. This will be the first reading of Lyon County, Kentucky Resolution number 07/2024 regarding flex paving. Because this is a resolution, I will be reading it in a summary form only and only one time. A complete copy of this resolution is available in the office of the Lyon County Judge Executive during normal business hours. Lyon County, Kentucky Resolution number 07/2024 is a resolution adopting and approving the execution of a rural secondary program between the Fiscal Court, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural Municipal Aid, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being part of the county road system. Be it resolved by the Fiscal Court as follows. The Fiscal Court is hereby certified that all roads and streets referred to in said agreement are county roads as defined in KRS 178.010.1 subsection B, and the Fiscal Court is hereby ratified and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in said agreement, and does hereby accept said agreement, and by such acceptance agrees to all the terms and conditions therein stated. And the County Judge Executive of the county is hereby authorized and directed to sign said agreement as set forth on behalf of the Fiscal Court of Lyon County, and the County Clerk of Lyon County is hereby authorized and directed and certified thereto. This has been the first and only reading of Lyon County, Kentucky Resolution number 07/2024.
Any other questions? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. Now you should also have the fiscal year 25 80/20 bridge project, which this is culverts, the state calls it bridge. This is where we can, replace drainage structure. You should see on page, I guess, 10, it should have all the culverts. So all the culverts on Commerce Landing, there's one on Glen Chapel, 7 on Pleasant Valley, and 1 on Wynn. I think there's 14 on Commerce Landing.
They have replaced all of them, good.
None of them have been replaced. This has to be approved and finalized by the state before it can.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion by Bobby to accept the 80/20 bridge project and pass the resolution as printed. I'll second.
This will be the first reading of Lyon County, Kentucky Resolution number 08/2024. I will be reading this resolution in summary form only. A complete copy is located in the office of the Lyon County Judge Executive during normal business hours. Lyon County, Kentucky Resolution number 08/2024 is a resolution in adopting and approving the execution of a dual secondary program agreement between the Fiscal Court of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural Municipal Aid, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being part of the county road system. Be it resolved by the Fiscal Court of Lyon County as follows. The Fiscal Court is hereby certified that all roads and streets referred to in said agreement are county roads as defined in KRS 178.010.1 subsection B. And the Fiscal Court is hereby ratified and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in said agreement, and does hereby accept said agreement, and by such acceptance agrees to all the terms and conditions therein stated. And the county judge executive of the county is hereby authorized and directed to sign said agreement set forth on behalf of the fiscal court of Lyon County, and the county clerk of Lyon County is hereby authorized and directed to certify thereto. This has been the first bill and reading of Lyon County Kentucky Resolution number 08/2022.
Any more discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. I make a motion to appoint Kevin Rofferton to Fire District One Board. He's filling a vacancy until June of 2025 when they can have an election. Second by Bobby. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. Number 12 will be moved to November. That appointment will come in November after, the city of Eddyville also furnished that reappointment and some paperwork was done. We have to agree on that. And we did. Yes.
Tourism Commission. Just to bring to you all's attention, this is just in regards to the Tourism Commission, not an appointment to their board, but Debbie had emailed me, House Bill 8 got passed during the last term of the General Assembly, and it updated the transient room tax ordinance applicability, so you're gonna see an amendment coming next month to amend your transient room tax ordinance, commonly known as your hotel tax ordinance. That's so that we can confirm to that House Bill 8 language to give them the opportunity to capture that revenue that House Bill 8 allowed for.
Any other questions? All right, Park Committee report. I believe I emailed you all those recommendations. I'm gonna read those again for you. So this will go for any rec league, Diamond Club, Little League Soccer, any recreational league that is using our park, Leas Jones. So board members and positions of each club to provide a list of the board members and the positions held annually. Bylaws and operational duties, each club to provide a copy of their current bylaws. Financial statements, each club to provide a monthly financial statement including receipts. The league dates set for the year, each club to provide dates for start of season, end of season, tournaments, all-stars, fall ball, spring, fall, any of their dates. Schedules, clubs should submit all schedules to the committee as soon as they're available so they can be posted. This includes all practice schedules, game schedules, field schedules, and all of that is posted on the rec desk. Rules, a copy of the rules being used by each sport will be submitted to the park committee. That's just so that they have a copy. They're not interfering or intervening on any of the rules or operation of that league. Club, excuse me, club budget items. Any item the club intends to purchase for the upcoming year, such as soccer nets, pitching mounds, etc., to provide that annually to the fiscal court. Budget item request, any item the club would like the county to assist on purchasing. And then park improvements, any item the clubs would like to see that would improve the experience at the park, such as lights, facilities, etc. I believe that was all of it. Well, we did recommend that a representative from each age group, both male and female, should be on the board. And so they'll take that and it'll be typed and presented at each one, is that correct, from the last meeting? And then that'll go into effect January 1, but was there something we had to come back and do in November?
No, it was just the opportunity to afford all those requirements to the clubs that operate out there.
So kind of, okay. Got it.
Does anybody talk to the soccer group?
I did talk to Dan Jones and kind of gave him the heads up, but I have not met with Kathy and Lefevre yet. Any issues with your all? Y'all are on the park committee.
I didn't have
On
that.
your report.
Did you say that either? Little thought.
Yeah,
Looking for it.
Can you send that to me sometime?
I will. I
Transcribe it in minutes.
failed to print it before the meeting. A little busy, but I will print that.
She said that.
She sent it, I got it.
Alright. That will be, put on official letterhead, y'all will meet with both.
Are you gonna give us that Thursday?
Yes, and both of y'all will meet with the respective clubs of each one.
That's next week, right, Bob?
I ain't heard back from Mike.
Chad, do you know when the next time the club meeting is?
No clue.
Last time I talked to Lath, it's supposed to have been last Wednesday, and then he texted me back and said, due to the conflict of ball games, it could be, Thursday, but I never heard back from him.
Is that today?
No, it was last week. His meeting was supposed to be last Thursday, but I didn't hear nothing back from him, so I don't know if they had a meeting or not.
Well, you sent me a text, it moved to October 15th.
That's next Tuesday.
That's Tuesday. So. Y'all will have it probably tomorrow.
I know.
And y'all can, it'll be in your email for sure.
You'll be
For
here
the copy.
October 15th.
What time they have it? 6? You know?
I thought it was at 7.
I don't know.
I thought he originally told me 7, but
I'll find out from Lath.
so.
I'll text you, Jeff. I'll find out.
Yeah, find out.
I'm just saying,
Huh?
Well, Lee about put the bench in the, or the desk out
I
there.
hear you, all right. Crossbar.
The whole thing shook. All right, you should have House Bill 1, this is the Catawba resolution and contract. So what this is the mayor of Catawba, Ms. Campbell, called myself and asked if Lyon County Fiscal Court would be the administrator of their House Bill 1 funds. And House Bill 1, the city of Catawba, in this last legislation, was awarded $2 million in House Bill 1 funds for the Catawba Fire Department renovation. There are reasons as to why they cannot accept this money, so she called and asked if we would be willing to accept it, to do this project on their behalf. And they have already passed a resolution from the Department for Local Government, DLG, awarding or transferring the ownership of House Bill 1 monies to Lyon County. And they did that in September. So they accepted it and then transferred it to Lyon County.
My question on this is that what the project is costing, $2 million?
That's all they were awarded. So the project is still gonna have to be bid, just like anything else. They'll have to follow our procurement procedure
So
and
they haven't got,
ARS.
they haven't got no bids or no nothing?
They haven't done anything. So I told them when they passed their resolution in September that they had to cease and desist anything that they were doing. And cause I was to the understanding that they had already done a survey. And so if they had done the survey, I asked, are you asking for reimbursement under this $2 million, or are you gonna pay for it yourself? And they said they were paying for the survey. And I said, well, if you pay for the survey, you can finish the survey, but if you're looking to seek forward from here, you have to stop. And so they were gonna pay for that. So from
So,
this forward, it's only for the fire department renovations. No more, the county's not paying for anything. It has to be approved by myself, it has to be approved by the mayor. I can't do anything without her sending it to me for approval, that's what's in the contract.
I guess my other question is, how do they come up with the $2 million?
So DLG actually has the $2 million, the Department for Local Government has it. They actually,
I guess what I'm trying to say, to do that is, how do they know that the fire renovation of the fire station will cost $3 million?
I have no idea how they got to that total to begin with to submit it. they've been working on it, I think, for several years, applying for different grants, so I don't know if they took it from those estimates when they applied for the grants, I have no idea on how they came up with that figure. That could be the figure that the state opted to give them, and that's it,
They would spend 2 billion, that's it.
and that's it,
So if
not big enough.
If we pass this, do this, and they happen to go over 2 million, it's on them.
It's in the contract of where,
Paragraph 7.
in no event shall the county be liable for any expense related to this project. And so, when I talked with, I think y'all know Aaron Jones, branch manager, DLG, of the grants program. So when Aaron sent this to me and said, once it's passed, we're gonna, and you do the scope of work, we're gonna send you the $2 million, and I said, we're not. I don't want the $2 million, because I want Catawba to be able to tell us what they would like to see done in regards to all the bidding and everything, and once they approve the invoice, then we send the invoice out for reimbursement. Or they'll send it to us right as we're paying it, so that the money is there. But I don't want the $2 million in our account just sitting there, because if it draws interest or anything, then they can say, what do y'all do with the interest on the money? So it's basically just a reimbursement only.
But now when they get bids and estimates, all that, then they bring them.
They bring them to us and we have to approve it.
Okay. Cause I just wanna make sure that they don't do nothing
Exactly.
over an estimate that we don't
Yes.
know nothing about.
No, they can't do any work without approval from the mayor and myself, no change orders, no nothing.
Well, they just remodeling the fire building, or they adding on to it, or?
Well, I think they were gonna add on to it, and I think there's even some concern if they take part of the tennis courts, or like which way are they gonna go, or are they gonna, you know, completely get the inside of it, what exactly, that's where the scope of work, this has to be done first, and then I have to go with them, and they have to get a scope of work of what they're gonna do, and we have to send that to DOG for approval.
Well, I know commercial works probably about, and Randy would probably agree, about half or more than half of what residential work is. Commercial work's expensive, I can tell you. I can just tell the estimates on these
Oh, yeah.
ledge going. So,
Yep.
main thing is with the estimates, you just want to bring them back and make sure somebody's not gonna gouge.
Well, we're gonna be the ones to bid it in the paper, that got paid, or it comes out of the $2 million for the bid advertisement in the paper. And then they're gonna look over the bids, they recommend which one they wanna go to, we have to review it and approve it before anything can be done. It's I think the contract that was drawn up's pretty self-explanatory, and
So you need a motion.
they understand
You need a motion.
to execute the contract and pass the resolution as printed.
I'll make the motion to do the contract. You want them separate, or
I'm gonna have them together and we can do this, but
contract and
The
resolution?
resolution, motion by Bobby, second by Jeff.
this will be the first reading of Lyon County, Kentucky Resolution 10-2024. I will be reading this resolution in the summary form only. A complete copy of this resolution is available in the office of the Lyon County Judge Executive during normal business hours. Lyon County, Kentucky Resolution 10-2024 is adoption of a resolution of the Lyon County Fiscal Court authorizing the filing of a Kentucky House Bill 1 project grant application for up to $2 million in HB1 funds with the Department for Local Government, authorizing and directing the Lyon County Judge Executive to execute any documents which are deemed necessary by DLG to carry out this project, and authorizing the Judge Executive to act as the authorized correspondent for this project. Whereas Lyon County desires to promote and carry out community development efforts on behalf of the residents of the county by supporting the HB1 project, and whereas it is recognized that HB1 money is available to the county for the purposes stated herein pursuant to the 24 General Assembly HB1 Appropriations Bill, impose certain obligations and responsibilities upon the county, and will require, among other things: 1, approval of the satisfactory application transmitted to DOG for approval; 2, registration with Finance and Administration Cabinet to do business with the Commonwealth; 3, other obligations of the county in connection with receiving HB1 purposes stated herein. Now therefore, be it resolved, this 10th day of October 2024, Final Lake County Fiscal Report as follows. The Making One project grant application on behalf of the county for HB1 monies up to $2 million for Catawba Fire Department station enhancements. Project shall be submitted to DLG. The county shall provide such additional information and furnish such documentation as may be required, and the county judge executive shall act as an authorized correspondent for this project. You will also note that this is actually done this 10th day of October 2024. This has been the first reading of Lyon County, Kentucky resolution, and only reading, resolution 10/2024.
Yeah, this is the first one that they sent out when we had it on the September agenda. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. You should have a copy of the letter we received, from Whitlow Roberts, Houston, and Straw. Mr. Bradford represents the estate of Brian F. Zander, which owns approximately 5.19 acres of property on Tom Peak Road in Lyon County. His client would like to donate this land to the county or a local charity, and he said, please let me know if the Lyon County Fiscal Court would accept such a donation, or if there's any charities in the community that you would recommend offering it to, and they enclosed the PBA card as well. I did go and print, kind of it's a straight, it's the one in blue. If you all would like to look at this, and communicate with Mr. Wilson, I think, survey needs to be done in the land so we know exactly what it is. The county would be responsible for that survey. And then potentially, if we want it or don't want it at the next meeting, go from there.
The only hitch may be, I don't know if you'll have a survey back on the next meeting. But if you want to vote to allow the judge executive to correspond back with Mr. Bradford that yes, we would like to receive the property, and we'd like to have a survey taken of it prior to receiving it, I think that would be the best step for the day.
I'll make a motion, give Jamie the right to do all that.
Motion by Jeff, second by Bobby. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Opposed, no. going with, Richard Mitchell. It's not replacing the unit, but we still have to do some duct work. There's still duct work that needs to be replaced. So he proposed to completely demo all duct and install the following: on the back 1/3 of the building, a kitchen and bathroom ceiling tile to remain, replace 7 2x2 lay and supply grills, 2 new return air grills, new sheet metal return, main floor, vaulted ceiling area, remove and dispose of old duct, register and grills provided, install approximately 40 foot of double wall insulated spiral duct with 6 spiral supply registers, sheet metal transitions, and that total was gonna be $15,276. So I did get another estimate from BW Aiken, which is removal of existing ductwork and replaced with spiral duct that is sized according to building load calculations per manual J load sizing, reconfiguring of return air and mechanical room and air handler with media air cleaner, ductwork to be prepared to be painted, and that was $14,386. And Wacom wanted $15,276.
That's $890 difference.
But part of the reason why we have the additional quotes were because I had asked if we were paying Wacom for each item that he broke down, or if we were paying a subcontractor for each item. And in conferring with the county attorney, I got more estimates, because if we write one to Wacom, then you have to follow the estimates and the procurement and the bidding. So that's the one for the air. And then on the flooring, Wacom wanted $12,061, and that was to remove the existing VCT and adhesive and prep and install a 3-part polymer epoxy type floor in your choice of colors. So I got 2 different estimates, one from Buchanan's, and as you can see, if they glue down a luxury vinyl plank, it's $14,498.30. And then if they do what they call a floating floor, it's $14,194.09. Mr. Sandless, and I will. So his was just to remove the VCT, prep and seal the concrete. That's not laying a new floor, that's just letting the concrete be the floor. And his was $7,031.25. And I asked him, I said, does that include the kitchen, hallway, and both bathrooms, etc.? He said, yes, it does. But his biggest concern is what it looks like when all that is removed. Without grinding it, it is likely you will still see the outline of tiles and trowel lines from the adhesive staining the concrete. It does not include removing and reinstalling toilets, where there may also be a want for some quarter round where floor goes under the cabinets and trim. That would not be included if it was desired.
What was Wacom's bid?
$12,000.
That's removing it and doing what?
That's removing it and, where I understand, staining the floor.
And that's to remove an existing VCT and adhesive and prep and install a 3-part polymer epoxy type floor in your choice of colors. Similar to what the joint has, is what they put. It's like a sprinkle, like the confetti sprinkled that on there.
I don't know, call it a terrazzo floor. Mr. Sanders was more expensive than just taking it up.
He's removing it and sealing it. And it doesn't include filling or grinding. Everybody says it's gonna be a lot other than what Wacom did, yes.
And how much was theirs on
$15,276,
this is for?
yes.
For Wacom to BW Atkins, you're looking at $890 difference.
Yes.
Wayne
That would be-
contracted it. Wayne contracted it out.
Yeah, I can't remember who they said they were gonna use.
For Wacom.
That's when I asked about who, like, if they were doing it all, or were they subcontracting it out?
This has got to be done first. Each day.
Yeah, before you can do the spray foam and the paint, because you have to have it raised up.
Is that doing, I'm putting a new unit outside as well?
That's $90,000,
No.
$375 more.
No, a new unit, BW Aiken says is $9,800, or $9,875.
Only to the 14,000.
Yeah.
So that would make it 24,000.
And Wacom's not replacing the unit either. He says he doesn't think unit size is an issue, but rather the lack of insulation and no insulated ductwork. Cause there's holes in that building, there's no insulation. But I mean, you're looking at, if you add both of those. And you're looking at about 36,000 in total renovation for that little building.
Does everybody know what Atkins Company, what their work is?
Yeah, they put heat and air unit in me.
They did in my old house.
Done excellent.
He lives here local. His business is just in Dawson.
So we're gonna take the cheaper.
That's, I think that's up to all of us. I'm just providing, I mean, you're, like I said, you're looking to spend about $36,000 to renovate that little building and get it up to,
Well, what was bid,
Looking
what was
nice.
the bid the first time on doing all that? 50 something?
I mean, that included, $37,549.
Wayne Company did it all.
Yeah, they would basically be the contractor and they would subcontract them. And we tentatively have the building, it's not allowed to be booked for the month of January to get everything done in January 25, when the new price goes in. And then be remodeled for next year.
Mr. Sanders, know the price, anything other than just tearing it out.
He's just doing the removal and the prep and seal. So it'll be just a
I know, but
sealed concrete floor.
I know the other one got to get on floating.
Yeah, no, cause he doesn't lay a floor, he just sands hardwood and, do
Mr.
you know by
Sanders.
chance, Mr. David Platt, if he, I thought they laid carpet at some point, but I could be wrong.
All I've ever do is, hard
So Buchanan's is not removing anything that's already there. Nope, it's to provide and install luxury vinyl plank we have a price a glued down option and a floating floor option.
This one I don't get, is the floating, charging $3.45 a square foot because they're easiest to put down. And $2.92 to glue it down. I'd much rather charge the $3.45 to glue it down, because that's gonna be a whole lot more work. So I don't know what the,
Yeah, if you look up on that glue down, it just says strip wax from the VCT, so they're not taking it up. They're leaving it.
I mean, we'd have to, if you're gonna do a glue down plan, you would have to.
Yeah, but what about on the floating floor? Cause it
Float away and just go right on top of it.
go right over top of it, so they're not removing it again on that one.
But if I was gonna do that out there in a commercial building, I'd make sure I glue it down.
They did not like the floating floor. She did tell me that she was asked about a floating floor, and they don't like to put those in commercial buildings because of the amount of traffic that's on them. But I still don't know that Mr. Samus's will be higher than the 15 or 14.5, even if he has to do some grinding, but.
You need a motion on this.
All the money just to remove time. But like I said, all you do is rent a machine and strip it up. I mean,
You're the expert on that, we do.
if I rent a machine, can all y'all help push it and save a little money?
Yes.
I show them the days, yes,
Yes.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, ain't nothing like that, it's got a tile head on it, and all it does is pulls it up off the floor. But that's what I said about some of these estimates, they're just, some of them are just like taking that up, it just seems like a lot of money to me, but.
You know, these companies can start pretty quick.
I told them, they can do nothing until January.
Right.
I said it'll be as soon as yes. Do we wanna look at doing the floor ourselves?
We can't get it.
I don't know, I'll push the machine, but I don't have a clue about sealing it.
Did you say we can get them?
We can't get it.
We can.
We can't.
Sure.
I mean, you're the expert on that, I don't know nothing about that
Yeah.
stuff.
You have to sign that thing.
We're not receiving any compensation. We can volunteer to do it. We can't receive any compensation to do it, but just like if all of us wanna get together and move that table from right there over to the side, we can always work on stuff, but we can't get any compensation for it. Like when we pulled those tires off the county truck and put them on Jeff's truck, we just volunteered to do that. We didn't get paid for it. Jeff just got a new set of tires on us.
That's what I'm saying, you can't show.
That happens.
That's what I'm got.
But I don't think Mr. Sanders, if you go to the ask him and say to grind it and to get it looking like it's supposed to,
Yeah,
that's probably gonna jump up into $2,000 or $3,000.
okay.
So, I mean. Yeah, that's not,
If you wanna take it up, if you know, I have no idea how to take that up,
I have no idea either.
but he does.
Yeah.
And if you wanna do it, and you wanna say, on these days, if y'all will help me, we'll rent the machine and we'll take it up, I'll be there.
I can go out there and
I'll be there.
tell you how easy it'll come up.
You gonna pull some of it, or?
We gotta just take a knife, see if we wanna pop up pretty easy. Cause I've had took them and they pop right up, and then I have some.
Well, let's see, when was that building built, Lee? Did you recall when that building was built, and how long about that floor's been down?
They've been there a while.
That's what I'm thinking. I've been here 23 years, and I know that floor's been there now.
I was gonna say none of life. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's been there at least
also have generator contract quotes and estimates. So you should have 3 from Usher, and there's 2 from Boyd Cat, and I'll explain these. So Usher did theirs individually. There's one for the convention center, one for the senior center, and one for the courthouse. They each have a primary visit and a secondary visit. They come twice a year. If you see on the front, it says this quote is for 2 visits a year. These visits are per manufacturer recommendations and per the NFPA 110 standard. So that's for all 3, the only 3 that the county has, the courthouse, the senior center, and the convention center, for maintenance on the generators. Nothing like power going out in the generator not starting. Okay, then you have one from Boyd Cat. So Boyd Cat did a 1-year and a 3-year. I will tell you, we currently have a 3-year contract with Boyd Cat, but Boyd Cat never showed up last year to service our generator at all when we were under contract. It was serviced in 2022 one time, never serviced in 2023, and I had to call them for 2024 because 23's was never serviced. And
Did they
so,
reimburse us?
we didn't pay. We have to pay when they come out, so we never pay. So their annual, maintenance for all 3 generators for 1 year, is $2,104.51. And their semi-annual 61-point inspection for all 3 units is $1,110.
So if you add them 2 together,
If they come out on a semi-annual, yeah, it's gonna be the 1,110, and then when they come out annual, it's the other. It's 21.
or 4, so that would be 32, 14, 51. For just the year 2025.
Yes.
I was looking at those, their total on all of it was
3380.
30
That right?
I think so.
Close the same. Except Boyd didn't show up.
No, not at all last year.
Where's Usher from?
Usher's out of Mayfield.
Boyd,
Yeah, Usher put in some of our generators here back when we did the, or when I was doing the hazardous mitigation grants. They had submitted bids for some of our generators.
I'll say, give it a shot. So, Boyd didn't want to show up. That's what we need to do. I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to use those Ushers. Contract to do our generators, all 3 places.
Jeff makes a motion to use Usher Electric for the
Service.
convention center, the senior center, and the courthouse. This will also, help, Tom, it's extremely hard for him to kind of keep up with those and with everything else going on and what all he has to do, and this is done by an electrician, and they know what they're doing. So we have a motion by Jeff, do we have a second?
Yes.
Second by Bobby, any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. Alright, you should have 1 interfund transfer for $476.74 for the road department. Motion by Bobby, second by Jeff. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. So that is Hopkinsville Electric, that was a contract that was signed under, former Executive White, with Penny Rowell Electric, Hopkinsville, Penny Rowell was
Well, I knew
The
it
same,
would be
yeah.
Penny Brown, but I didn't know what the HE is.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it's called.
Hopkinsville, yep. I didn't either, I learned that when I came in.
I only have one question about the clean earth council. Is that,
That was from the, Household Hazardous Waste Day. So I received a grant for $15,000, I think the bill is like 14 something.
yeah, 14 miles.
However, we have to pay 25%, the county does, whether that's in-kind, cash, et cetera. So the grant will still have a little bit to have to pay in.
I figured that's what.
At least we got the grant to cover the majority of it. Any other issues with the,
I just remember what HE stands for. I seen the sheriff report, man, activities picked up in Miami.
and just so you all know as well, the city of Eddyville has chosen not to merge or be, absorbed by the Lyon County Sheriff's Office. They're gonna look at hiring. And then I also just gave you all for your information, maximum allowances to date. The sheriff's office is anticipated to be about 9,600 over, however, he is losing a deputy that's going to the DOCJT Training Academy in Madisonville to work there. And then the clerk may be over about $1,400, and that's, part of that's gonna be from the raise, because we never amended the maximum allowances to reflect the raise that we gave in July.
So who's losing out on the sheriff department, Michelle?
Michelle's leaving.
We still got all the rest of it.
Yes.
Penny, you gonna move up and start patrolling?
No, sir.
Are you sure you don't want a car?
No, I have to look when they come in the office, go out.
Oh, I'm sure you might want to start patrolling.
But I might have to. Not anybody.
We do because of the last two that were added to the claims, we'll have to have a motion of those, so I'll make a motion to approve the gets, the clerk, prepared the tax bill for $2,531.63, and the sheriff's postage of $665.31.
Second.
Second by Bobby. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passed. One last thing I have for you is KU's gonna, replace, if you're looking at the two buildings, the community building and the Leas Jones building, if you've ever been out there when it's dark, it's pitch black on the backside. Those lights are out, we're gonna replace those to LED, and we're gonna put another pole in for another light to give us more coverage back there, so it's about another $70 a month for that new pole and light, and they're gonna replace the other ones to LEDs.
I fell down, carried trash out there one night.
It's black,
Well, there was a
it's,
block to hold the door open, and I didn't know it was there, and oh, man.
I heard
and
it
the
was-
landscaping's done. Go out there and look at the front of it, it's done.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't do it.
All right, we got it done.
I wanted a picture of you showing.
You should have been out there at 6:30 or 7:30 this morning.
So that would be good for you when you take up the tile with the straight on.
I don't know, make a motion to adjourn.
Stay.